Alright guys, so starting off part 2 of the video, upstairs now. Downstairs we did clean up the entire vehicle. Now this video is going to be really concentrating on how to install the true Hart air struts. So there is a little connection right over here where basically air is going to go in to inflate the bags and deflate the bags at the same time. The rear, on the other hand, will need a top hat that we are going to get from the car. And there's a couple bolts that are underneath for the fender well. We're going to be removing all that, and basically the way how we're going to adjust these. We have done coilovers before on the channel, so it's very similar to that concept. To properly adjust this, basically you'll be loosening up the strut to match the mark on the top. With the rear, however, though, I feel like I'm going to leave it kind of at 7 because I want it to be kind of lower. Just because I want that rear end to really get down there. There's not going to be a lot of weight in the trunk other than the tank, compressor, and maybe even the seats and stuff. However though, in my Fiat, even with the coilovers, the rear end doesn't sit really low. So I'm going to try it out on 7 on the rear. On the front, we're going to leave it at 13. So that 7 clicks right over there. Now we're basically going to take our lock ring, lock it in, and see how we like it on the car. Alright, so downstairs we're here with the wheel. Now the first thing you want to do obviously is to get off the nut. I don't recommend using one that's spline. Get one that is the straight socket. But for this case we're going to use a 19. We're going to break off all the nuts. Getting our first look at our 2025 Honda Civic SI rear suspension. Now we are going to start off with the easier part in the rear and then work our way to the front. First things first, we have to remove this inner fender. Looks like we got a few Phillips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 little tabs to pop out. And then unscrew the mud guard or whatever you want to call that, splash guard, in order to get to, hold on. Can we get to that? Oh yeah, we can get to it. We don't gotta remove the inner fender. We're gonna be getting to that bolt right up there. Whoop, hold on. Yeah. There she is. That's one. And the other one is on the other side. There it is. Oh, so never mind about removing the inner fender perfectly. That means less work. Less work, less things to move around. And right now we have our line from the inside of the vehicle. Looks like I did do way too much, but that's fine because this is more than enough to maneuver around everything. If you guys haven't seen part 1 of the video where we basically snuck this to the back end, this car was made for bags, guys. So we have it all up in the air, and some beefy looking parts so far. Crazy looking hub assembly. Got the electronic brake. Not too bad, not too bad. Can't wait to get this unbolted with this bolt right over here. And then right there, we might have to unbolt this bolt as well to drop the bucket down in order to get out the spring. So that might be the case. First things first, let's go ahead and start unscrewing this strut. So digging into the tools needed, we're going to need a 13 1/2 inch or 17 right over here. This one's going to be for the strut in the bottom and also for the main bucket for the spring. Then this one right here is going to be for our main strut going all the way to the top. Now we should be able to pull it out. Carefully wiggle around the inner fender to help pull out everything, and then switch the top hat over to our coilover strut and then put the air suspension in there. So the spring is still stuck in there, obviously, but something I was looking at underneath. Well, wrenching that out real quick. Look at the exhaust on this thing. It's on a full spiral, guys. I think it's pretty sick. They could have just made it straight out the back end, but they made it do a whole nother loopy thing. There is no valves back here, but when you do put it into the SI mode, it does make it a little bit louder. So we're gonna go ahead and remove the sway bar. I love how these bolts have a welded in backing, so you no longer need 2 wrenches. But I guess we'll get that sway bar end link out to make it more free. And that one is going to be, I believe, a 13, hopefully. We'll find out right now. Yeah, so it's a 13 on that one too. It's a little added pressure from the jack. Now we can carefully lower this guy down. And the spring should, in theory, fall out. Scary. Alright, so just like that, got the bucket pushed down. Now it's just on that rear control arm, on that rear bushing back over there. So now the spring can come right out, just like so. So that is our factory SI spring. I believe these are a little bit lower than the regular Civic. So, whew, now I guess just a couple more steps of the puzzle. Which is pretty cool about this new suspension is that the travel is like really nice, smooth. I mean, obviously, yeah, it's a new car, so let's stop yapping and keep working. Alright. Moving along so smooth and so easy. God, I love working on a new car. Look at this, guys. Oh, came right on out. So now, a little bit of a maneuver. And we got this long, eradicated strut. This thing is ridiculously long, guys. Jeez. Go ahead and remove this little top piece. And we're going to be revealed to take off the main stuff underneath. Alright, so a couple of tools that you're going to need for the strut housing and to take the top hat off. We are going to be using this little 14mm and a Husky 3/16. So I believe that's a 5. And we're going to be needing this wrench over here. So this wrench is pretty cool. Picked it up, I believe, at AutoZone. And basically it's going to allow us to stick our socket right into there. So we can hold down our top hat and wrench it off. Bada bing, bada boom. No, there's no worries about it shooting up in the air because there's no spring. Spring has a lot of tension, so top hat should just be able to wiggle right on off. There we go. Got a boot and a bump stop off. Wow, does this look appetizing? Side by side comparison. Honestly, they are this right size down over here, but it's crazy because the shock is not even it, and the bottom of the shock is right over here, and the bottom of this shock is right over here. So it's already going to be significantly lower in the rear. I'm super excited to see how this looks. Alright, so before I put you guys down and work on the other side, pretty much just copy and paste. Let me do one quick summary. We're going to need a 19 for our wheel nuts, 17 a strut, and then up there is going to be a 12mm socket. So once you got all your sockets in place, everything's good, everything's golden, then you can remove all the OEM parts. And then this one right here is going to be a 12 as well, sway bar end link. The air ride bag, strut is already in. The bag itself, we're going to position this bag to kind of match right there where the hose is at from inside the car. If you haven't seen how we install those, watch part 1. Got a nylon tie to the bottom of the strut so there's no interference. And also the hose is going to not get pinched. So let's go ahead and put this guy in. And it should just fit in like a glove. And then there is going to be a little tiny one like this plate, squeeze in from the bottom to go ahead and tighten it up. So let me tighten it up and I'll show you guys what everything looks like afterwards. All right, finally, after seeing what took forever, we have the left side completely done, buttoned up. Everything's back to its original markings. So 17 on the bottom bracket. I did wind up doing some custom modification to the old bump stops on there, just so that way it sits in a nice little rubber and it gives it a little bit of space, because this bolt didn't want to clamp down all the way. So that little bit of rubber goes a long way and helps without the friction. We also got the 12 bolt into the stabilizer. So lots of hard work. Let's slap on the wheel and see how it looks so far. Pretty tucked looking fitment. I believe that's what's gonna look like all the way aired out. So the goal is honestly to lay rockers, but no, we're not gonna do that. All right, got everything installed, cleaned up, all lined up and everything. Everything's done. So now the ultimate review test, guys. The rears are tucked. I might have to do some slight adjusting, more tightening up on the struts later on, definitely. And for sure when the struts settle down, it's going to be even more lower. So let's go ahead and carefully. Got the air ride suspension already. Oi, 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 oi. Is it as low as we can get? Uh-oh. And we got it stuck. Lucky for me, I found another jack laying around the complex. So I was able to borrow it. And has no handle, has no wheel. Probably is not the safest thing to be using, but it works. To get this guy out. Let's go, let's go. You guys want to comment Harbor Freight, you know, tag them in the YouTube channel or blow up their DMs. Tell them, hey, Penny needs a low profile jack. Help your boy out. You can also hit the subscription button so we can afford one. Let's see here. This is gonna be ugly. Oh, very, very close. That would have went bad really quick. Okay. Oh, now we got the little jack stuck. Fantastic. Gotta get the big jack to get the little jack. Let's see here. Actually, let's do something a little more easier. And let's get this guy back underneath. And then go back up. Put something underneath the tire. Golly, man, this is one thing after the next. I've been saying that this entire installation, if it's not one thing, it's the other thing. Okay, now I should in theory be able to get down from there. Okay, just like that, she's off. So that's aired out all the way. That's dope. I think we could definitely go a lot lower, but for now, that's pretty sick. From the stock ride height to the rear ride height, let's go ahead and do this, man. All right, guys. So this floor is super dirty, man. I just ruined my So Scared hoodie. This is why I didn't wear that nice Bag Riders t-shirt that I got for free. But we can see our 3 wires right there. So 2 black and 1 red. And what I'm gonna do is try to push them up and away from sitting on the heat shield. Now I don't know how they look inside the tunnel. That I can't tell you as much, but I do know they're sitting on the heat shield, they're gonna melt. Now I did look, there's a fair bit of amount of room from the exhaust. Also, this car has really nice gaskets. You can see right there where this one's gonna go and live right inside, and I believe that one also has a gasket on that side. So we're gonna just find the little holes. There's a lot of stuff going on over here. Maybe not the best bet to go with, but we'll find another little hole to go around and try to get in, because that gasket's all the way right there. So that means that it's all the way in the backside of water, down in the crack. Really can't show you guys too much, but okay. No, I could show you. I could show you. Watch this. Down in the depths of the Honda Civic Sea. It's funny because it's an SI. Hold on, I'm a fool. Maybe I'm a fool. Maybe I'm a fool for you. Alright, hold on. Boom, right there. That's our little glory hole right over there. Sick. This car is an amazing, easy rebuild, guys. So far, it looks super sick. And it's all the way jacked up. Look at that. Low and slow, baby. Hold on. As the day grows older, the light goes bare. So I don't even know what I'm saying anymore, guys. Been doing this forever. It's on the second day of installation. We got all the wires tucked up. Everything looks pretty neat. Being honest with you guys, when I do get this wheel off, I'm gonna go hands deep into this one. It was a little more of a pain to get it, but I pushed in the gasket and then I was able to get out the wire all the way. So now cut accordingly to when we put the strut on. First things first, we're gonna go on this side. Now I'm gonna put you guys down afterwards once we get all the tools and all that stuff, but I'm assuming we're gonna need a 15 up here. Take the 3 top hats over there. This does not matter because we're not removing the struts. It has its, we're not moving the top hat. It has its own top hat, which is convenient, so we don't have to do extra work. This one's coming right out of here, so we just have to cut it according to where the strut's going to be at. We are gonna have to remove this one right here. I believe this is a 14, and then we're gonna have to move this giant one right over here. So it looks like, wow, this one right here is only gonna be maybe an 18 or 19. So let's go ahead and grab some tools and then start wrenching. All right, let's see if I was right about my nuts. So we said the top one's gonna be a 15, womp womp, 14, and then we said that, little tiny poles. Golly, that one went up the wrong area. Pride indeed. This one 14. Yep, there we go. And then we are gonna get out the other big one, which I believe was an 18. Womp womp, 17. So 17, 14, and a 14 on top. Yeah, 14 on top. So pretty easy to remove all 3. It says that now. But let's go ahead and get our right sockets, which is our 17. And that one should be here. There we go. And that's all we need. So careful of that pride pole again. I don't want that to happen again. Looks like they took my pumpkin over here. Sad. All right, let's go ahead and get this one banged out first. And I am using this wrench because in case I need to hold down the Allen key area, I could definitely do that. But let's go ahead and get it out. Hold on. I have no... So let me know if you guys like videos to where I'm doing work and showing you my work, or if it's just like, if you like the videos to where I'm just like flashing afterwards when I'm kind of done with my work. Looks like we are going to need a jack to jack this guy up, take that off. So let's get the jack and jack up the rotor. Something I learned from all my cars is to never jack up by the rotor itself. Not like going to do any damage, but you might mess up the heat shield, or the dust shield rather. Alright, let's get up in place. And it should slip out like so. There we go. Now let's get off this one right over here, our 17. And then after all these bolts are out, this strut in theory should be able to dangle around. And we get our top bolts out and then swap it out. I know somebody made a video before on these things and it was like, why does bolt no go in this way? Why does bolt only go in that way? I don't know. These new cars are weird, strange. I've never seen this kind of technology before to where, you know, you have this going on. But let's go ahead and lower this. The strut should be able to go out of its hole. Should be. We'll find out right now. Looks like it got lowered. So, oh, don't tell me we got to do a lot more work. We probably have to do a lot more work. To be honest with you guys, we might have to remove everything. That I'm not excited for. Let's keep moving on. Find out, maybe we have to, maybe what we'll do is we'll lower down this area, then jack up this area right here. That way the spring is kind of compressed and it pushes it out of its hole. Alright, got the bolts out on the top, and the hub itself actually dropped. So that's a good sign. Now we should be able to pick this guy up and take it off. Should be. Come on, baby. Let's see. I'm gonna put you guys down, trying to jiggle this thing out. Just lay it. No choice. I want to say though, this car is really nice with the control arms. Compared to other cars, it's really tricky. This one right here, it's 3 bolts on the bottom. I'm gonna show you guys all that magic right now, but we're about to do something very, very, very scary. The car isn't on any kind of load except for this jack. I told you the story about the control arms because we did take off those bolts, right? And well, we also took off the top hat. So let's find out what happens. Slow but steady. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Shouldn't be anything super crazy, but the strut is still under load. So letting that gas strut or hydraulic strut, sorry, kind of just slowly unveil itself, and we should be able to, in theory, take the top hat off and get everything else out of the strut house so we can remove it. There's no other way to remove it. I'll put you guys down. Hopefully we get this out. Admit defeat. So I will have to go to the AutoZone and rent a spring compressor tool because this is not it, guys. Took apart too much. And I gotta put everything back together right now. And then after that, today is New Year's Eve last year. Even though the video is dropping a little later on, we are gonna basically put things back together for right now. And then after that, go to the AutoZone. So I'll catch you guys the next day when we get the spring compressor tool, because we gotta, yeah bud, that's gotta go compresso so this can go shadow uppo. I wish I can say, guys, that this is a cakewalk, but man, let's just rewind really quick. Easy to remove all 3, says that now. I said that and I ultimately regret it. I had smashed my finger twice already on this thing. It slipped out even with the safety pins because they're on the very bottom. And a lot of time's been wasted because I had the little things the other direction, which is a big mistake trying to get underneath. What I'm talking about is that inside here, it's not that much of a wiggle room to go by. And then this little sneaky bastard decided to grip on top of the bottom purge for the spring. But now everything is out. So now we're going to install our coilover and plug everything back up, tighten down all of our bolts. Of course, we're also going to make sure that we get our hose in there. Otherwise, how are we going to get our air? We're so close to being done. So close. Everything is bolted up. Ugga-chugged. And now for the grand reveal for you guys. When everything is done, I'll show you guys it going up and down. I hope you guys so far are enjoying the content and every learning process along the way. There is going to be some stuff happening, heads up, later on in this year, 2025, with this front end. What is it? Who knows? If you guys know, you know. Been talking about it for a while. If Sabon or Kevmans, if anybody's watching, tag them definitely. And hopefully we get those sponsors in. All right, and down she goes, guys. Let's see. Kind of scary. Isn't the best exact jacking up point, but there really isn't anywhere on this car because it's all just plastic underneath. Kind of reminds me of a Volkswagen. All right, and did we get stuck like the rear end? Possibly. See how badly stuck we are. Yeah, it's not that bad. We can pull it out. Unlike the rear end, it was really bad. Hold on. Alright, had a little improvision. And now our breaker bar is stuck. So we're gonna just basically yank this guy out. Or not. Or turn the car on and roll it backwards. But so far, front end isn't as low as the rear end. It's kind of the goal to not have it. I mean, the front end is still not aired out either. I believe the strut still has a lot of air. So 3 corners down, enough for me yapping. Let's go ahead and take this out. It's funny, this one's not even on a coilover and it's sitting lower just because the rest of the car is low. Oh man, it looks so good so far. It has been a very long way coming, guys, but about 3 days later, 3 days installation, full-time worker, 2 other jobs, on top of doing YouTube, guys, I managed to get it together. So right behind, it is aired out. Now heads up, yes, this car is squatted. Why did I do that? Because I still want to clear my front end, guys. I don't want to scrape all the time. And there's going to be some cool stuff happening over time with the rest of the body, minus all the junk and everything. It's all going to go into the Fiat. I might even go into the house, but you can see it's cambered out, lowered down, cambered out, lowered down. This side looks a little more poked out, which is weird considering that they're both around the same height. I know we didn't do anything different, but that right side looks a little more tucked in. Might just be because I lowered it a little bit more with the paddles. It is a manual setup, so have to get used to all that, but it's pretty square all the way around. Probably maybe in a month go back in and readjust it, maybe even lower it more, drop the rear completely so I can be on the ground. But for now, I mean, put your foot underneath, it's a good amount. So that's gonna be it for the video, guys. We did clean up the inside as well. We cleaned up the trunk setup. Everything's done up, everything's ready to go basically. She's back to normal. We do have some lights on the dash, I do believe, because we unlocked. Huh. Yeah, when I was busy doing some stuff to the car, it went all crazy and buck wild. We got a Christmas tree stuff going on over here. Don't know what it's all about. Door open, Captain Obvious, systems initializing. So we got to continue driving the car because we did take the battery out, so it still has to like communicate with everything. But as always, guys, stay safe and stay chill.